Well, hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. And it's time for the outer garden bed tours in the backyard. And there's a little bit going on. There's a lot of weeds going on because things kind of get overwhelming. But before we get into the garden tour, I want to ask for your help. Now, if you've already subscribed, skip forward about 12 to 15 seconds. You won't miss anything. Those of you who have not subscribed, we are working on getting to a goal right now, and we really need your subscriptions. And I'd like to ask you just to hit that subscribe button below this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps grow the channel, and it's free to you. So here we go. It's getting ready for the next part of the garden tours. We have done the front and side gardens yesterday in the rain. On the 11th, today is the 12th of November, 2023, and it's been kind of recovery time. One thing you're going to see, and this is kind of the theme of these outer beds today, this summer really got away from us. I traveled a whole lot this summer dealing with various things like taking care of our cabin in Arkansas and eventually selling it. We also went on a trip. There were several things. I ended up losing about 7 weeks worth of work this past summer, and here we are in November, and I'm just working on catching up. I've done some stuff in the front gardens. In fact, if you saw the first part of this 3-part series, you saw what happened in the artichoke patch, and that was very exciting. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. There will be a link at the end of this video to that video. If you want to go from here to there, that's fine. Either way you want to do it. So yeah, let's get going and see what these outer beds look like for the month of November 2023. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So before we begin, I want to just mention very briefly that this is actually my journal, a journal of everything that's happening in the garden. And I refer back to these frequently. I will go and be looking for seeds or trying to figure out what I've got. And I'm able to go back and look at these videos and see, okay, this is what happened to these. This is when I did that. In fact, as we're going around here, I'll talk about some of the dates. I had to do a little research for today because I was missing some dates. But yeah, I went back and got some dates off of some of the previous videos, and I do that frequently. But you are so welcome to join along in this tour, and hopefully you can get inspired to do something. Maybe you can figure out something you can do in your garden. But yeah, so the weather, it is nice out here. I mean, look at this sky. It is beautiful. There's a lot of blue in it. There's still some clouds up there, and it just makes it such a wonderful, wonderful day. The temperature out here is right around a little above 70, and it feels like indoors, outdoors, doesn't matter where you're at right now. It's a little bit dry. Feels a little drier than usual, which is very nice for us. We did get that rain yesterday. Oh my goodness, we got over an inch of rain. It felt wonderful. And so yeah, it was a good breath of fresh air, because that was the first of any precipitation we got here in Destin for right at a month. I think it was actually 4 weeks to the day. So I talked about that in the beginning of that, but yeah, our weather is supposed to be a little bit more rainy for the next several days. In fact, I'm thinking about turning off the irrigation system for a week or two, which is, wow, very exciting. And that's just thrilling that we're going to get some natural rain. In fact, I want to put some stuff out to get some natural rain that might not be getting those mums. I got to fix those mums. Yeah, the ones that I'm not sure are getting the right rain. To help guide along through the property, we have this map right here of the property. It's an aerial view I just grabbed off of Google. We are upgrading this. I have a fellow lined up that once we get our beds cleared out and do some work, he's going to come out and do me some custom photography and videography from a drone, and we will get some get a better map than this. But the big thing about this is that it shows you the size of our property. It doesn't have to be a huge farm. We're 100 feet wide, 106 feet deep, and that's it. That's how big our property is. We are just under a quarter acre of property right in the middle of Old Destin, what we call Old Destin. The Destin that's been here since before the 80s. So yeah, we actually looked for a property in this area, and this one is funny because we looked for 4 years, and this one kind of hid from us until we were ready. And the time we were ready, we ran into, we hadn't even been in this 4 blocks of town ever, and found this house, and it was all she wrote, because it was just the smoothest glide into this property that we ever imagined. We could never have imagined it being that easy. But you don't have to have a lot of land. In fact, we have a small space gardening series right now, and if you haven't caught that, I talk about if you've only got a balcony or a veranda or just a table that you can grow something on, you can grow something, and there's something just internally rewarding about doing that. Not only that, it's just once you grow your own, and right now the series is on a tomato plant that we're growing, and once you grow your own tomato and taste what a homegrown tomato tastes like, that's ripened on the vine, truly ripened, not just vine ripened like you buy from the store. I like what Jess over at Roots and Refuge says when she says that store-bought tomatoes are like taste like disappointment. It's really true. So, but yeah, we actually are going to talk about tomatoes, and the third part, which will be coming up after this, we use a variation of this map that you'll see in part 3. So stick around, subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, so this shows you where we're at. We're going to tuck this down here in the corner so that you can kind of follow along where we're at on the property. And this circle right here, boom, is going to show you exactly where the camera is kind of looking at. It's a little bit of a general thing. When we get the new things, I think I'm going to change that. I've done other videos like that where it's actually a camera showing the angle of the shot. So maybe we can do something with that a little bit better. I've got plans to improve. So we're always trying to improve here. But that circle is going to show where on the property we are right now. We're right behind the house. We got the raised garden bed right here to my right, and we're going to kind of go around the outside of the raised garden bed. You'll see that circle will travel around the outside of the back of the property from over here and somewhere over here, and kind of go over the back of the property is what you'll see. So you kind of get an idea of where we're at. But anyway, right now I am standing under the blackberry trellis. It's a thornless blackberry, and these things are growing like crazy. Last year we had a lot of these growing. The vines look amazing. I've been trying to tie them up or stick them through the cattle panels so that they will grow up. You can see, like, there's a loose one that's right here above my head that gets tucked in, and just as they grow, I tuck these things in and just let them keep growing. In the spring, they're going to start producing blackberries, which is going to be amazing. So anyway, so of course outside of the blackberry trellis, we have our pomegranate trees, which no longer have very many pomegranates. I do see like ones right there. There's another one straight through there, and there's a couple, but I have not harvested any of the pomegranates this year. Just really, I still have some left over from last year. I did want to show you this massive leaf flower plant. They get tall, and this is my main fight for this year, but I wanted to show you really close. Look at the seeds growing underneath every single leaf on some of these branches. There's a little seed that breaks off real easily and replants itself, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's been a thing we're fighting regularly. The goji berry plant underneath here, it looks good, better than it has, and it does have some blackberries kind of trying to take over it down here at the bottom, but maybe it'll survive. Maybe it'll surprise me and survive. So yeah, these pomegranates definitely have suckers trimmed off, and this year I think I'm going to wait till it's a little colder and do these. I did it for the first time in the middle of the summer, and or spring, I think it was. But I think it's supposed to be able to wait on these until the weather cools. So anyway, of course, here we come around to the back of the blackberries we've already discussed, and I've done a lot of the mulching. You can see the chain link fence up behind there. I've done the other side. This is the area. Oh, I've done a little bit of mulching here. I've got to mulch this whole area back here with the chopped up leaves. And I actually noticed that today, this very day, I noticed there's a lot of leaves out front for me to hit with the mower, and I can probably finish the rest of this area all the way out to this brick line here and get this mulched out. So our mint bag down here with the Thai plant, it is kind of struggling along. I cleaned it out on camera I think I did that on the video tour. Maybe not. No, I don't think I did. On the last one, I think that's a peppermint in there. There's actually another one down here to my right, and there's a mint down in there as well. That might take some real TLC. Oh, look here. Is this mint? No, that's not mint. No, that is not mint. That is that ivy growing. Ouch, that thorny ivy. Ow, that kind of hurt. There might be some mint in here, though. Is that mint? No, that's the ivy, too. This dead stuff is the mint, I'm pretty sure. I wonder if I got all these dead leaves out of here, if it would thrive again. That might be a thing to do. It may have mulched itself to death. Let's see what happens if we just clean it out. Next garden tour, we'll know. I don't have a lot of hope for that, though. I may have to go get me some more peppermint. Anyway, the bees have just been settling down for the season. They are down to 3 boxes, and Jeff Chesser over at Destin Honey has been treating these for mites. It's a routine treatment that he does. It's kind of a maintenance thing that they do this time of year, and they seem to have responded pretty well. They're pretty strong and active, very active. So we do need to get rid of some of these shrubbery that's growing along the fence here. But so the Cathedraloupe, well, this was one of the things I was talking about. I had to go do some research. I planted these cantaloupe over here in June. I think it was kind of relatively late June, which was way too late to plant these from seed. And, well, we just didn't get much. I mean, we had something that looked like a cantaloupe about that big, and that was about it. And so these bags have what's left. You can see they look like they're dried. But anyway, that was kind of a fail just because I made it too late to the party on that one. Yep, and we will be moving the bird bath outside here. I think I mentioned that in the last one. This is one of the areas that really got away from us because of the traveling. And, you know, it just gets to a point where you got to pick your battles. And this was not the battle I was going to pick. And we just kind of let it grow. There was a lot of great weeds and flowers in this area for the bees. And in fact, they're still enjoying these little white and yellow flowers quite a bit where they're growing. So from there we go over to the fig trees, and we have 2 fig trees, one right there and one over here. Let's go to this outer one first. And you can see we have figs here, but they are not going to develop. The leaves are falling. The leaves that we talked about, the fig rust in the last part of this month's garden tour. And some of these leaves, oh, did you see that? Just barely touched it and it popped right off. These leaves are not producing, I don't think they're going to produce enough energy to give these figs that are on here any chance to grow. They will probably just shrivel and die. The other fig tree is about the same thing. It has a few more leaves. I'm going to wait till it's cool, though, and pull off. I'm still debating pulling off this branch right here. It's coming toward us. Yeah, I'm debating it. I bet this leaf right here is ready to come off. Yep. So that's what I've been doing to help it along into its dormant period. So, and I think there was a couple of figs up inside here. There was. Oh yeah, there's one right there. I thought there was one over here too. I don't see it anymore. It may have fallen off, or a bird may have gotten it. I don't know. So the elephant ears are looking beautiful, very dramatic. Yeah, we're gonna let these grow. I want to try, see if we can get taro root, edible, something out of it. We did that on camera with one that was way too young, so I'm letting these grow a lot longer now so that we can hopefully do a better job with that. This is the kind of tree that we are fighting a lot of, and we just pull these things up. This one might be too big to pull up easily. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one a little more force than I can give right now. So still some air potato around here. We looked at this one on the last video. I completely forgot to remove this plant. And now I'm gonna pay for it if I don't at least break the cycle here. I lost the tuber. Oh well. Big thing is I'm looking here, make sure there's no tubers growing inside here. It looks like that could have been the beginning. No, it's not. We saw that a couple months ago on a video tour. One of these had a little tiny air potato that had started to grow, but I don't see any now, so hopefully we can keep that under control. The Loquat hedge has not been planted yet, though it's getting a lot closer. You'll see at the end of this video how big those things are getting, the Loquat trees are getting. They are really wanting to be in the ground. But this is the tarp that's covering all my grow bags. I've got to get some potatoes planted in here, in these grow bags, because we got potatoes from Irish Eyes seeds. I was looking around for someone that had Yukon Gold, and they were the only ones I could find was Irish Eyes online. They sent them right out. Very efficient. I was very pleased with that. Oh, I do want to show you on the corner of the Cathedraloupe. This is my last, a lot of zinnias left. There's a big one over there. Here's one right here. And oh, look, there's the monarch. We've had a lot of monarchs. Boy, that's a beautiful shot right there. It's been wonderful to see the pollinators through here. Anyway, yeah, this is why I like to keep the flowers as long as I can. These zinnias have been great. The sunchokes make their flowers. This has been great too. The lemon trees are going fairly strong. This one down here, we thought everything had died. This one down here really seems to be doing a strong growth. It does have thorns. I know the previous owner planted some new Meyer lemon trees, not on rootstock. I don't know if this, I've looked down at the base of this, and I think this may have been one of the ones that he grew himself without rootstock. So I'm hoping that this is Meyer lemon when it comes out. It did produce some lemons last year at the beginning of the year, and they were good. So we'll see what happens there. The watermelon, we still have 2 watermelons left on this watermelon that was planted way back in July. Oh, let me just show you the bees here. More pollinators crawling around the flowers. I think that's awesome. They're all around me here. I see them. I can count 2 or 3 or 4 over there right now. 5, 6. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of them. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad those bees still have something to eat. But these watermelon, no. So I did pick another one from right here. It's sitting in the fridge right now. And what I've been doing with these is I have been letting them stay there as long as the stem is green. The tendril has long died. These leaves, actually these leaves were not this well. See, those leaves look really good right there. But if you look at the stem is still green. Now this tendril, which is right there, that tendril is dead, which tells me it's ready, but I don't want to pick it yet because we're not ready to eat it. So I'm just keeping them covered in their little bag. And see, now I've got an opening there. Let me grab this with my other hand real quick and get that closed again, because it looks like it has opened up. There we go. So now it's all closed up. And keep those things closed, and hopefully we can have some more good watermelon. There's one right there, looks to be about 7 pounds. That one over there, maybe a little bit less. Brown turkey fig tree right here is looking good. We painted its trunk to help with the sunburn. If this thing can get its roots established, which has been in here a few months now, it should shoot out in the spring. So I'm very excited about that. That will look good. The unused cattle panel trellis right here, I think we're going to end up putting Luffa on this in the spring. So some Luffa gourd. Looking forward to that. This is kind of interesting. Again, this was a pick your battles kind of thing. This grass got way out of control, but this is a mint plant down in here. You can still see some of the stems, and yeah, this is a peppermint. Oh yes, nice. That's a peppermint. And I come in here about once a month and clean out the excess of grass and let it thrive a little bit more. But I see there's a ivy over here growing into it right now that I'm going to have to keep control over. So coming past the kinetic art here and looking up the tree, and I do want to point out that right at the top we've lost our first piece of bark, and this thing is really starting to lose its bark fast, which makes me a little concerned about the health of it. This thing is probably not going to survive as long as I had hoped. But you know, right now there's a place for lizards to hide under there, and it'll stay here as long as it can, but I'm going to have to keep poking it. That seems pretty hollow. I'm going to have to keep poking at it and making sure it's healthy and doesn't fall. But we still have this jasmine on here, which is just, you know, kind of growing a little bit, and I will eventually get these tendrils going up a vine, but I do need to get up here and clean off the growth from it. So I was hoping maybe get 5 or 10 years out of this trunk, and the way this bark is peeling, I am not sure it's going to happen, mostly because, and that's happened mostly because I believe of the sun that we get here in Florida, Destin, Florida. There's another butterfly. Huh. We have so many of these butterflies. But so yep, the wood pile will eventually get moved. And I mentioned in the last garden tour, this corner back here, we will be converting this, putting down cardboard. I do have onion bulbs underneath all that mess right there, but we will be putting down cardboard, and this is going to be a small cornfield next year. And I'll probably plant that out early. There's the remains of a Satsuma orange trunk right there, and there's a big pot over there that's got to come out. This pomegranate is not looking good. I'm going to have to trim the dead parts off of that while I can still see what's dead of it, but I don't have a lot of hope for that tree. So yeah, we'll have a nice little area of corn in this corner over here. And then we come down to, well, that's good. So we talked about the pomegranates. The other pomegranates are starting to lose their leaves. They did produce a few pomegranates, not very many. These are the ones I never cut the suckers off of. So I'm kind of concerned that they probably will not do very well. So this is my original rosemary on this property, and it is still going strong. I see there's an ivy coming up on this side. That big leaf back over there, that is comfrey. And I've got to break some of that up and try to grow that in different places. But we do have a lemon tree that insists on growing, and I thought it had stopped growing, and then it came back, and then I thought it had stopped again. But this is actually, I think, one of the previous owners' Meyer lemon trees, and it's actually planted down into the ground next to, no, that one's in a pot. That one's in a pot. Okay, so there is, this one here is in the ground. There is one in the, oh, I've got two growing here. Okay then. Well, maybe this pomegranate can come out to make room for that lemon tree. So yeah, look at all this comfrey. Oh my goodness, look at this taking over the base of this. It's a very deep-rooted tree. Brings up nutrients from deep in the ground. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. Over here to the Loquats. And I'm looking forward to having Loquats. One of our friends who actually gave me the Loquats that the seeds for these came from, is going to have me harvest some of theirs when they're ready here in a month or two. And of course I'll take you along on that. But we have 2 Loquat trees right here. We got 4 more. That tallest thing right there is a Loquat. In fact, you can see here, look how big it is. It's got branches. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a beautiful piece of a hedge. So let's get that grass out of there. But yeah, look at all the branches. It's got a beautiful goblet shape. Going to plant up to 6 of these in a row and let them fill in. There's decorative grass in here that I'm kind of cultivating a little bit. There is a lemon tree under here that I have allowed the weeds to grow up because it's protecting that base. I didn't paint that one. I'm just letting the weeds protect it from sunburn. There is a lot of ivy that's come up in here since the last garden tour, but there's another one of those aloe. There is an aloe back over here. This is the one that blooms a different color. I think this one is the yellow flowered aloe. So I'm just looking around, making sure there is a row of elephant ears along the fence behind there, and I haven't done anything with them yet. So I'm not sure if I'm going to let them go or what. So they're just kind of growing for now. Compost, you can see the compost has really settled down. In fact, here's a teaser for the next part in the raised garden beds. Look at these Kajari melons. They got eaten into already, but and I'm trying to get these to. We'll talk about that in part 3. You have to watch the next part of the garden tour to see what happened with all that. But you can see that has sunk so far. In fact, at one point it was as high as these wedges that's holding the liner in, but it has sunk all that way. And this is really getting to be good compost. I still need to do some combining of these right to make compost for next year. And yeah, so that's really all there is. Oh, looky here. Here's I think this might be a chocolate mint bag that has been taken over by a whole bunch of other things. Oh, that's mint right there. Look at that. Oh yeah, I can smell it. Got to be careful what I pull out of here. These are obviously not mint. Some kind of dandelion type thing, of course. I'll have to get in here and picking your battles. We've been fighting the front yard battle. We've really not done a whole lot with the backyard, except for, well, there's stuff happening over there. You'll have to watch the next part of this video tour to see what's happening over there, the raised beds. So there we go. This is the end of part 2, the outer beds of the backyard. I hesitate to say I think it was shorter because every time I say that, it ends up being 3 hours long. I've never had a 3-hour video, but still, it's been the way things are. That's why I never say that anymore. I try to remember not to say that. But here, let me show you what we got right here. I have about a half a dozen more of these Loquat trees that are growing down here in solo cups, if you can believe it. Well, I guess there's actually about 9 of them. That's awesome. Thought I had 10 down here, but I am missing a cup. Oh, I may have given it away. I think I may have given that one away. So anyway, yeah, that's my log for the outer garden beds for November of 2023. Still stuff happening and things are just growing, and at this point it's kind of just a waiting game to see what's going to grow and what's not. I need to get the ivy off of these pomegranates. I see why they're kind of struggling. They got these big ivy on them. This is not a thorny one, fortunately, but I see This one's kind of getting taken over a little bit now that I look at it closer. So anyway, well, I'm hoping this month to actually get some time to start. It's only the 12th of the month, so we have over half the month left. And hopefully we can get a good start on fighting the backyard battle. I have been using the raised beds quite a bit. The watermelon patch has been nice because I had the ground fabric in there, and it hasn't grown nearly as many weeds as the rest of this has, but we'll just restart again on some of these beds and kind of get it going again. So anyway, ooh, a big old weed growing out of this poor little loquat. I'm not sure I can pull that out. I may have to break it out. Yeesh. Okay, well, again, battles. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that out. But yep, so I don't know what the weather holds for the next month. It looks like we might be having some of the exact same weather again, though, for most of the month. Our normal average first frost is on the 14th or 16th of November, which is like in 2 to 4 days, and it ain't gonna happen this year. So that makes me very happy because we can still grow. The biggest thing, if you saw in the first part how many tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes are growing, I'm really hoping those will ripen. Wait till you see what's in part 3 on the way of by way of those tomatoes, because there's a lot more. I mean, oh my goodness, you just have to see it. So be sure and stick around and watch the next part. At the end of the this video, on the right side of the screen will be links to the first and third parts of this video tour, so you can go directly to either one. And got some birds above me here, but be sure and stick around and watch more of those more of those parts of the garden tour if you're interested. So yeah, please subscribe. Oh, there's another big vine. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. That feels good. That's very satisfying. I bet I can easily fill 2 trash cans with that kind of stuff. But please subscribe if you have not already. We are trying to reach a goal right now, and just trying to get to that next point that we need to be at. So please subscribe if you have not already. We got a lot of people that watch that don't subscribe yet. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. You are all my heroes. I truly appreciate it. It has helped get us to where we are right now, which is a long, long way to our first major goal. If you thought this was informational, educational, inspirational, or even just entertaining, click the thumbs up on this video and share it on your social media. These are all things that are free for you to do. Just takes a couple of clicks that actually helps grow the community, helps grow the network, helps grow this channel. And overall, I see it as much more than just that. All the people who are homesteading and gardening, we are growing this awareness on the internet of people growing their own foods, and hopefully encouraging people to do that. I was encouraged by the videos I watched. I remember Jess Sowers over at Roots and Refuge. In fact, if you go to my homepage on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist down the way that has a few of her videos. That's actually what got me started. She's the one that got me started on tomatoes, and then I went on to watch others, Gardener Scott and so many others that are out there that I learned from and am at today. So really, this is just me continuing to learn. My mom had a garden growing up, and I didn't really pay much attention then, but I'm paying attention now, and eating good food because of it. So anyway, I think that's about it, though. Stick around for the next part 3, the raised garden bed tour that I'm going to be starting to record here in just a little bit, because this weather is gorgeous. Now the sun's kind of starting to go down, so I may have to hurry on that, but we'll get there. It'll all work out. Y'all have a blessed day.